a good bad neighborhood. The way you know you live in a good bad neighborhood, okay, is the age of your drug dealers. Okay, if you live in a bad neighborhood, the drug dealers are 25 and under. You don't want a 25 and under fucking drug dealer. Like, I don't do drugs, but the drug dealers really 25 and under. They treat everybody like shit. You walking past, you want some drugs, pussy. Whoa, no, I thought I did, but not with that attitude. Who trained you? Why are you always trained? You need to go back you need to watch the video again. But above 25, man, they treat you like a king. You stop, you hang out, you stop, you go to the store, they open the door open for you. Hey, what's up, big homie? How you doing, man? You all right? Listen, man, I got a little something if you want to come out and talk. Yeah? But go ahead, take your time, go to the shop, brother. You come back out, man, they treat you like a king. One dude hit me with some inspirational words the other day. He was like, listen, man, Chris, I see what you're doing out here, and I believe you can fly. On these pills I got, I was like, thank you, but no thank you.
Welcome to the Next Come Up Show. I'm your host, Dominique.
And I'm your co-host, Steven Strickland.
Today we have a special guest. He's a comedian. He has opened for Kevin Hart and is also the new cast member of the Comedy Central Every Damn Day. Welcome to the show, Mr. Chris Content.
Oh, thank you. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for the mister. I'm starting to feel old because people keep calling me mister. That might mean I'm just doing stuff good, but either way, I just be like, oh mister. I'm hitting Mr. Age.
Yeah, you hit Mr. Age.
I try to be polite.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I just call people by the middle name. I just cut through the pleasantries. Say, Josh. That's not my first name. I don't care. I just don't want to say Mr. or Miss, so I just cut to the... No, actually, I call everybody sir and ma'am. It's very weird. I just do it because...
But you don't want to be called Mr.
Yeah, because I feel like if you're going to age me, I'm going to age you first.
There you go.
Petty. I'm real petty.
Well, Chris, thank you for joining us. I see your shirt. It says Jill Scott, Music Soul Child, Bilal, The Roots, and Eve. So is that safe to assume that you're from Philly?
A little bit of Philadelphia. A little bit. No, I'm from South Philly, born and raised, man.
South Philly.
Yeah, I rep it pretty hard.
Okay, so is your beard Philly regulated? Is it?
I would say right now my chin hair is definitely above regulations. My face, I keep it low, but that's a decision I make because I happen not to be a Muslim brother. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I bang with Jesus, so I just kind of keep the sides trimmed so I don't get too many slimes when I'm walking down the street.
Okay.
Because it's awkward. I just shake their hand because I don't know what to do. I just look around. They'd be like, hey, brother, I'm still good with you, though.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean? I don't know what to do.
So that leads me into my first official question. Are you always on? Like, are you always funny, or is there's a serious side to you?
No, I'm actually pretty shy, and I have, like, whatever time frame I'm listed to tell jokes is when I officially tell jokes. I enjoy writing. I don't enjoy reading, but I do enjoy writing. I enjoy watching movies, long walks on the beach, and anything by myself, and with my wife on occasion, because sometimes I have to act like I like hanging with her too.
Oh, okay, that's good. Shout out to the wife. Shout out to the wife. Yes,
big shout.
Show her the love. So, tell us about a show that went wrong.
A show that went wrong. How much time do we have? Okay. A show that went wrong. All right, I'll tell you actually a story. The first time I bombed, and it was in your hometown of Newark.
Uh-oh.
The first legit bomb story. I was, I was taking a comedy class, the only one I've ever taken, by Tuvray Gordon. Also, he's comes through there a lot. And one of his friends had a mic or a show, Marlon Randolph, which you should know Marlon.
Yes.
So I came by and he was like, okay, I'm sending 5 guys up. They're young dudes. They funny. The funny, and he literally said the funniest one. This is the note he gave him was me. So I get up there. He's like, yeah. So I show up. They're like, all right, I'm gonna put these 4 dudes first. Chris, I heard you the best one, so I'm gonna do one person, then let you go. Now, I'm like, I'm cool with that though, because usually I'm confidence high. I'm like, yeah, they know, they heard, they got the text. You know what I mean? And I got to walk in with confidence. So all 4 go, and the person who popped in to do a spot was, God bless, rest in peace, Todd Lynn.
Oh.
You know Ty Lin. Ty Lin is a beast on stage. He's not just good, he's a great comic. You know what I mean? If you don't know about him, Google him. Very funny. He went up and did 10 minutes straight murdered. He must have been getting ready for something because it was just 10 minutes non-stop laughter to the point where some dude, I wish I was lying, literally stood up out his chair and just was like dancing. Like that's how hard it was. Like old school Def Jam. So then he ends. It come off. Yeah, let's keep that energy going. Your next comic coming to the stage, Chris Cotton. Boom. So I get up there with my New Jack energy, like I'm gonna just coast this through. Hit my first joke. Nothing. Right? So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get him with the second one. Nothing. And as I'm telling jokes, I'm getting literally smaller and like I'm just shrinking into a ball around the mic. By the third joke, the dude who was dancing was like, yo, that ain't even funny, yo. I ain't even dancing no more. I had no idea what that has to do with comedy. His dancing. Right. But this was probably my worst. Just like to get the jig on.
I'm sorry we had to give you the bomb.
That's cool. Oh no, that wasn't my first one. Oh, that was just the most notable one.
Gotcha. We are on the map.
Oh, I started off bombing from out the gate. I went to Cheney University for a year. HBCU. Apparently the first one. But I went there for a year and I started off hosting every show. And the first comedy show I did was at Cheney University. Oh wow. And I was supposed to do 5 minutes, 30 seconds in, boo, boo. And it feels worse when everybody on campus know your name, so you're getting booed by name. Wow. Hey, Chris, yo, what is you doing, Chris? Boo.
But how did you handle it? Like
at that one, I was off the stage in like another minute and a half or so. I buckled through. And the second time I did a show up there, got booed again, but it was halfway through. Okay. Because I was getting better.
There you go.
Oh,
Third time.
Progress.
I didn't get booed to the last 30 seconds, and I was like, I'm good now, baby. I'm a comic. I'm a full-time comic.
That's it.
Quit all my jobs. And, but I did start going to open mics after that.
So can you take a joke when the target is on you?
Depends, man. Yes. For a while, yes, but I will lash back. Now the question is, how far do you go? Depends on how far I go. And I tend not to get angry except for like friends. My friends just know. They know what to do. They just twist the knife. But generally, I'm pretty good at taking jokes.
So does your joke is based on your life story or is other people experience?
It's mostly based on life. I like to talk a lot about very realistic things. Like I like to reframe some of the saddest stuff that we go through kind of on a daily basis, meaning like I talk a lot about Philadelphia was growing up very kind of segregated to a certain extent. Not blatantly, but definitely right in your face, you know what I mean? And race played a large role in growing up. Not that it was always negative or positive, but literally you can go be walking and one block will be all black, the next block is all Filipino. And then the next block after that is all Irish. And you just knew, okay, for a while when I was younger, it was like, okay, to get to the basketball court, we can walk straight, then we have to turn on this block, come back, then come back around. And it's like, why? But then one day you decide to walk through that block, you're like, okay, I'm never walking through that block again. That was not fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's, so I kind of like to talk about a lot of things that kind of hurt, but it's fun, you know what I mean? Like that boo story. It hurt at the time.
It hurt me. It hurt me for you.
But
I was hurting for you.
It was funny. You got a good laugh. Yeah. It was cool.
So you talk about your family?
Not extensively, but yes. Not to the point where they would ever be angry, but I do talk about my family.
So has anybody in your family, been opposed to this career choice, being a comedian?
No, you know what's funny? I come from a very working class family. My dad was the first one to kind of step out of the framework of that. He became a teacher, and he also was a preacher, but he became a teacher, and he was the first one to kind of step out of the straight blue collar, just lifting stuff. You know what I mean? So when they seen I was trying to do something else, in the beginning they were like, oh man, they were just scared for me because they were like, it's going to be hard. Especially with the way I am, my style of humor, my I mean, I like to just kind of goofy
Right.
for the most part. I like to have fun, and they were very supportive, but just scared for me. You know what I mean? I'll say that.
You mentioned that you're married,
Yes.
right?
very
So
married.
before you were married,
Mm-hmm.
how long you been married?
Oh, I've been married for 13 years.
Okay.
You can still ask the
Congratulations.
questions. Just freely ask the questions.
So before you were married, did you ever use, your humor to, push up on the ladies?
That's how I was a big dude, man. How do you think? First of all, I like to throw this information out there. I was a big guy. Also, was prom king.
Oh, all right.
Oh, good.
All right. Shout out.
I want to see those
What
pictures.
school, what school is this?
This was Bach in South Philly. This
Okay.
is Bach,
Shout out
BOK.
to Bach in South
Well, you can shout us out. We just got former alumni. We closed down because
Oh, wow. Wow.
you know how
Sorry.
school, you know how
Yeah.
public
Yeah.
public school
Mm.
works. But I was prom king. South Nat. I also played football.
Okay.
And I just cool. I don't even know how I passed high school. I don't remember being in class very
Wow.
much.
That's deep.
So with all that being said, humor is all I had. What do you think? What do you think? I mean, I read a couple books here and there. I like to self-educate, but
Right.
aside from that, it was all joke. Teacher, anything that'll get me out of not having to be a normal quote unquote person
Right.
and get treated weird. All I had was jokes. And ladies, my friend. I had a friend who his face was the opener. He would get him over, and I would keep him.
Gotcha.
So I was good in the middle game and the closing game, but opening game awful.
Oh,
Awful.
right. Okay.
Hey,
So
how
there's
you
a-
doing? Nah, I'm all right. Okay, that makes sense.
There's a little bit of shy brother going on, like a little flip on the shy brother. That was your best wingman.
It was yeah. I guess yeah, cause I am actually that's pretty much what we used to do. Yeah, pretty much. And plus, I got all my friends look way better than me.
Oh,
So
wow.
like I got a whole group of like every other. I got like all my friends are sexy, and I'm not. I'm like all right at best, and they all just friends with me. And
At least the wife thinks you're cute. That's all that matters, right?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, now it don't matter, but I mean, I had a good. Never mind.
Sorry, I brought up some bad memories.
I had a lot of admirers that didn't say nothing, and then when you get soon, hey man, no, you should have said something.
Right.
No, I didn't know. If I knew, you think no.
Right.
I had free time.
And now you don't.
Now
you
no
don't.
free time.
Is your fan base on mostly men or women? Or kids?
You know what I like about that question? Y'all assume I have a fan base. That's what I love about that question. Y'all assume people like me. I love that. You know something? That made me. If y'all are my fan base, that's 50-50 right now. Like
Empower you. We empower you.
Yes.
I think my fan base is. No, honestly, I think a lot of. I would say it's not male, female. I have like a hipster following, like hipster young entrepreneur people who are dreamers, like people with no money. That's why I don't get good turnouts, but they will root me on. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I want to come, but I have no money.
Wow.
But I like what you're doing. You know what I mean? They got.
Keep on. Keep on keeping
So
on.
I think it's like anybody who doesn't own a house yet. That's my fan base.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay.
get you some
So
homeowners
I'm
at
your
the show.
fan because I don't own their house yet.
See what I'm saying?
There you go.
See what I'm saying?
There you
I
go.
just attract them. You know what I mean?
So you mentioned you've been married for 13 years. You
Yes.
have kids.
No kids. No
Oh
kids.
no, you don't.
No, don't put that on
Oh,
me. Don't
sorry.
put that on me.
Sorry, I am sorry.
No, you cool. I don't hate kids. I like kids. I'm an uncle and goddad. I have, but that's it.
But how you balance your marriage life and your career because you do a lot at the same time.
It's hard. It's hard, and she's very understanding. I mean, literally until I can look at my watch, like 5 months ago, I was poor for a nice 7-8 years straight. Like just whatever came in here, added with the rest, and it's like, okay. And it's like, and she, my wife's a nurse, like. You know what I mean? I supported her all through school and all that, in the sense of emotionally, not fiscally. Fiscally, I just bought a couple books and was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Just so I could. But aside from that, she's great. And what I think a lot of people forget when it comes to like relationships is you're not going to be with the person the way you met them. You have to grow with that individual. You know what I mean? And walking through the door, she already knew I wanted to do comedy, and so she was in. And when the going got tough, I mean, don't trust me. We both at one point was like, I don't want to do stand up anymore. But it was like one of the things like I have no other skills. At this point, I painted myself into a corner. You know what I mean? And she was like, nah. And just for the ladies out there, just so y'all know. You can't wait till he's almost about to make it, and don't sit there and say, "Well, you just don't want this type of what." No, I married a very dark-skinned woman who is very black, and we were both very poor. And with that, it was like we both realized like you have to grow into who you're going to be, and don't always say, "Well, if you ain't making it in 2 months." Her timeline was like, I think, 5 years. I shot past that with a nice juicy 10 years on there, you know what I mean? And now it's like everybody around her, the few friends she might have had who was like, you need to, they all just sitting there quietly because they're like, oh, yeah, you never know. So just support. Sometimes we just need a little
push and support.
Support.
It's so important.
As long as he's trying, he's doing a couple of odd jobs. I mean, I was a bouncer too. I did a lot of other stuff. Yeah, I did. The odd jobs are out of control, but.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Gotta do something, gotta pay a bill.
A bill.
At least a half a bill.
Yeah.
Sometimes just look at the bill. Just look at the bill. You know what I mean?
These are all our bills.
I organize the bills.
Right.
So you can pay them.
Yes.
Easier.
Which one is it? This one. No, put it back. Pick a bill.
For you.
So you've been doing comedy for a while. What type of comedy, do you do? What type do you lean to? How'd you start?
I like the short story, the anecdotes as they're called, but I like the short stories, like kind of jokes. I like to poke fun at people. Everybody is awful. Like when you really look at the grand scheme of human beings, we're awful, and
Wow.
a lot of us are very. We don't even pay attention to other people's perspective at all, and that's one of the things I like to do. I like to kind of bring you to the point where you can realize that, yes, you're you, but there's somebody that's on the other side of everything you're doing, who has another feeling, who has another point of view, and that doesn't make them wrong. Sometimes it just makes them different.
Right.
And I enjoy sitting around and hanging out with people who have different backgrounds and getting information. Part of the reason why I think I ended up being Prom King is because I just was cool with everybody. I like hanging out. Like I used to sit at the table with all the thugs, quote unquote, and drug dealers just as much as I sat with the kids who played Pokemon at lunch. Like I like those kids. They could talk movies. The thugs don't watch movies. They only watch like 5 movies. It was always Baby Boy or Paid in Full. I can't talk about that every lunch. You know what I mean? I like a good movie. I like TV shows. Like they don't want to talk about sitcoms. They don't want to admit that they laugh out loud. You know what I mean? Like I like talking to the other kids because they like talking about fun stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can talk sports too, but I really like talking about sitcoms. Like I really like talking about a movie, Yeah. So
I don't know if there's actual school for comedy, but did you went to school or any type of training to become better?
I took one class. Again, I'll say his name, comedy. Toure Gordon. He's from Philadelphia, from North Philly, actually. Which he's very instrumental in a lot of people's careers that came through Philly. Like Kevin, he actually was very instrumental in Kevin Hart. They're friends growing. In comedy, Kevin Hart started after Toure. Toure helped him a lot, and he helped me also a lot. Spank, which is one of Kev's openers. Naeem Lynn, the legendary Wid, which is not to at all. Keith Robinson in New York, he helps me. He's helped me in the latter part of my career a lot. And I'll say another name, which was surprising, Artie Lang. He was a good friend of mine, and he helped me out a lot. The last 2 people was Artie and Keith, literally in the last few years. I know Artie's fell on some hard times here and there, but I love him. The same thing with Keith. Keith, that's my comedy old head. I can't pop. We call him
OG?
He's so old, and we. But yeah, it's great, man. I had a lot of people help me over the years, but they're the main ones who really were instrumental in a lot of things in my career.
And also, when you want to be zoned out, like when you want to write your material, do you have a specific place where you go and this is where I have to go to write?
You know what's crazy? I'm the opposite of most people. I am very shy, but I do like to go out a lot. I like to go out and party. I like to be around people. I just don't want people to talk to me. That sounds so funny. I just don't want them to interact with me. But what I do sometimes, if I need to write something and have to, I'll go actually to a Caribbean club.
Really?
Yes, this sounds funny. And the reason why I like Caribbean clubs, because first of all, if you dance in the middle of the floor, no one judges you, or if you just stand in the middle of the floor, no one judges you. It's a very open, but you can listen to the music, and it's really a judgment-free zone, because in the second they start judging you, then somebody will walk in wearing a whole cat suit with holes in it, and you're like, you know something? There's no need to judge this guy who's standing in the middle of the floor and not dancing. You know what I mean? On his phone, and so it just looks like I'm most of the time on like Facebook stuff, but I like to write on my phone out in public, like in the middle of
really?
stuff.
Just out of oh, that's great.
I grew up in a house with a whole bunch of people. I have 2 older brothers, and at one point, my older brothers and us, we had to move in with like my cousins. So a full house was just like, not the white version, but the full house was just the way I was used to living. So when a lot of activity is going on around me, I kind of can get into almost a zone. And then if I don't have anything around, I look up and I'm like, oh, here, I got more ideas. You know.
So you said you started in hosting, kind of like myself. So my question to you, for me, and other people out there, what advice would you give to an aspiring comic?
Do it. There's no way of doing it. There's no perfect way of doing it. Everyone has their own route. And you won't find your road until you start driving. And you have to start.
Message.
Look at
which one is this camera? Find the camera and say that again.
You won't find your road until you start driving.
Come on now, I'm gonna start this offering off at.
That's gonna be my next Instagram post.
You won't start
tonight.
Yeah. Thank you. This is why my fan base is at 50%, baby. But
right
no,
now. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, that's good. That's what I tell them. No, that's what I tell anybody. What could I do? Just do it. You don't know. You don't know where you're gonna go. You don't know where you're gonna end up. It was literally at one point I was super broke. I'm in New York City. I'm couch surfing like a champ. I did that for about 5 years. And it was nights where I was like, man, I got no food. I'm mad. I want to just quit. Then I get a text or a call. One of the funniest texts was one night. Me and a few of my friends were all walking. I'm like, man, I'm just going to go home. I ain't eat tonight. It is what it is. Right? That's what you say. It is what it is. No food. That's life, right? So I'm on my way to somebody's couch, like always, and one of my friends get a text like, yo, I want to go to this party. It's like, whose party is it? It's like, yeah, Chappelle's party. It's when he was doing the Radio City show. It's like, Chappelle's party. And this is literally all our next question. Is it going to be food there? Get to the Chappelle's party. We didn't care. I was like, Chappelle, we've met him. He's a nice guy. What's up with the food? Right? So it was food there. So, and that's what I'm saying. You just never know. Things will work themselves out. You know what I mean?
Besides being a comedian, do you hold a title in the entertainment business?
This is weird because I do a whole bunch of other stuff quietly. I also have a record label.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a Flack Man Entertainment. That's
Flack Man.
Yeah, I released 2 EPs from not me myself. I don't rap.
Okay.
From an artist I have. His name is Bookworm, and it's very good. He has 2 EPs, and you can check him out on with iTunes, Spotify, and all that other stuff. He's on everything. But yeah.
How long you been having this record label?
It's about 8 months or so.
Oh, you just started?
Yeah, I just started. I've been dabbling in music and also do a little bit of production and everything. I do a lot of stuff.
So do you own your own production company as well?
No, it's entertainment. It's just entertainment record, and it's a legit record label. But yeah, so.
Cool.
I can do a lot of stuff.
How was the call? How did it go when you got the call about Comedy Central every damn day?
It was first of all, I don't react well to anything because I kind of go into like thank you, and then away from everybody I do all my reactions. But the call itself was great, was good feeling for me internally, but externally I didn't show much emotion. Mm-hmm. But what a lot of people didn't know about that call was before I got the official call, I got a text message from, at the time, my manager for me bouncing. Mm-hmm. So an hour before, he's like, "Are you working this weekend?" This is what they didn't know. This
Right.
was hilarious to me and my wife. We laughed about this. He like, "Are you working this weekend?" And I had to wait like another hour till I had heard a yes or no. And I said, "I'll let you know in an hour."
Oh, wow.
So I got the call, and he was like, "Hey, you got the job, whatever." And I was like, "Hey." So then right after I hung up with them, I was like, "I'm not coming in for a while." 'Cause I still didn't say completely out because
Right.
I've still been a comic for too long. I was like, if this goes under, I can't burn this bridge yet.
Right,
I need to go stay. If I have to, I'll go stay. But I haven't bounced in about 6 months. So,
Okay.
so
good.
That is good.
the funny thing when I say I used to be a bouncer, no one's surprised because you look at me, it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you got the bounce uniform right now.
bounce
The hat,
automatically.
t-shirt.
Hey. You see that?
Yes,
That's me.
I
I
saw
just
it.
did it. I just did it just
Just
now.
auditioned
That's
for the next role. Of bouncer.
80% of bouncing is
Eyebrows.
it's all nonverbal. It's all nonverbal. That's bouncing.
If you had to go on tour with some like big comedian, who would you like to go with?
Can they already dead or alive or just alive?
Could be like arenas.
Either.
concert. Either.
So they can be dead.
I mean, that'd be kind of rough, but
I
go
mean,
ahead.
the tour dates would be hard to
Yeah.
finagle, but okay, I'll go just alive. Who on the bill? And I'm gonna do this in. They're not all bigger names, but they're people who I enjoy being around. That's mostly what touring is. You don't want to go on tour dates with people you don't like, 'cause then you're like, oh, this is awful. I have a few friends. My friend Derek Gaines, H. Foley, Monroe Martin. I'm gonna say, did I say H. Foley? Yes, I said H. Foley. These people, y'all know none of them. This makes it funny.
Okay.
Ryan Shaner, and I also bring. I think I might have had him on here. A kid named Brian Isley. Did you have him on
Okay.
here?
Yes.
Yeah. So that.
Yeah.
Quickly, can you tell us your Instagram name so people could
Yeah,
follow you?
right.
Oh,
Find
on
you.
social media, everything is the same. It's the @ and Cotton 215. That's the Philadelphia area code if you don't know.
yeah.
But so it's Cotton 215 or 215, whichever one you can remember better. So hit me on all that.
Cool.
Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you. Hope
Thank
to see
you.
you again.
Yeah.
And I am Dominique.
And I am Steven Strickland.
This is the Next Come Up Show. Until next time.
See you next time.